Coming up tonight on Fifth Third Business Beat, smaller hospitals look to affiliate with larger ones to stay in business. The city prepares to appoint people to sit on its new Housing Board of Appeals. A company moves to get more space and ends up saving money. More charges are leveled at the management of LCA Vision. Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer discusses Macy's plans to restructure its stores. There are free resources and workshops for people who have lost their jobs. Stuart Hoffman, Senior Vice President and Chief Economist of PNC Financial Services, joins us to gauge the current recession. Jeff Weiler of the Jeff Weiler Automotive family talks about why it's more difficult these days to lease vehicles. Crystal Faulkner talks with Jeanette Jones, President of Asset Advisory Group, on taking the emotion out of investing. And David Drockman is Doug Bolton's guest for Publishers Beat.
Fifth Third Business Beat is brought to you in part by Fifth Third Bank, Cincinnati Bell, and Cincinnati United Contractors.
Hello, I'm Brian Patrick. Welcome to Fifth Third Business Beat for Friday, February 20th, 2009. On the front page of the Business Courier this week, some smaller hospitals in outlying counties may be forced to close if they don't affiliate with a larger system. Clinton Memorial Hospital in Wilmington is one of them. The hospital sent out a request for proposals in December. It's now talking with Tri-Health. Clinton Memorial is a 95-bed county-owned hospital that's been losing money for several years. One reason it's in the red is because more than half of its patients are on Medicare or Medicaid or get free care. Christ Hospital recently withdrew a proposal it submitted to Clinton Memorial, and so did Kettering Health Network. That leaves Tri-Health with the only active proposal.
So I've spent my career doing turnarounds, but I've never turned around what I call a depression. I don't care what anybody else calls it, just at a higher level. And other hospitals are taking, normally what this process would be just it'd be somewhat of a minor risk for people to take on somebody with debt and bring them into the association. But now with the financial markets where they are, they have bond ratings they have to protect. And I don't blame them.
If discussions continue to go well, Rydell is hopeful a deal could be in place by September. Orientation is scheduled for March 2nd for members of Cincinnati's new Housing Board of Appeals, but those members have not yet been appointed. An ordinance passed in October combines the functions of the Community Reinvestment Act Housing Council with the new board. The board will do a number of things, including promote the intent and purpose of the Vacated Building Maintenance License Program. That program, which is designed to get empty buildings back in use or demolished as quickly as possible, has been criticized in the past for uneven enforcement. The ordinance says 2 of the 7 board members will be appointed by the mayor, 2 by City Council, and 1 by the Cincinnati Planning Commission. Those members will then appoint the 2 remaining members. A company looking to expand got more than extra space when it relocated from Covington to Lawrenceburg. Crown Car and Coach and Crown Charter provide transportation services for corporate clients and local sports teams. When the company ran out of room to park its growing fleet of limousines and buses, it found everything it needed and more at a 3-acre site in Lawrenceburg.
Overall, we found Lawrenceburg and Dearborn County to be real estate costs to be reasonable. Some of the taxes that affect our business are lower. Workers' comp rates are lower over here. Just a number of areas that made it very business friendly for our type of business.
Berberick says his payroll taxes are lower too. All of this could add up to at least $80,000 in savings a year. More good news for the company. Despite the economy, Crown is actually growing. Berberick says one of the reasons he's doing so well is because his newer buses feature amenities like satellite TV and wireless internet. The fight over laser eye surgery firm LCA Vision just entered another round. This one has the company's former auditor claiming that LCA experienced a surge in treatment errors and quality control problems under the leadership of CEO Stephen Strauss. Ronald Matter previously accused Strauss of interfering with treatments made by LCA surgeons. Matter is a friend and neighbor of Craig Joffe, who is part of a group that's trying to take control of the company. LCA Vision was founded by Craig's father, Dr. Stephen Joffe. Matter claims that staffing changes and budget cuts initiated by Strauss caused the problems. Strauss says Matter exaggerated the number of wrong treatments given to patients and says the company is working with doctors to reduce error rates and improve patient care. Back to the front page of the Business Courier now, a story by Lisa Fasig about Macy's, the Cincinnati-based retailer, planning a massive restructuring effort that will change what we find in each store. Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer here to explain. It's called My Macy's. Rob, what does it involve?
Essentially is re-merchandising their entire system of stores nationwide. They want to be more targeted as to what they sell and what kinds of stores, really try to make sure that it's just not a cookie-cutter chain nationwide. They understand now that different demographics demand different products, and that's what they started. They started this actually before the recession, so this is something they're battling through right now.
So if we go into the Macy's downtown here, will we see anything different?
Yeah, for instance, downtown has more bridal registry, luggage, more professional goods. You go out to Kenwood and they'll have more upscale items, upscale denim, things like that, because Kenwood is a more affluent area of town. So it depends on where you go, what part of town. They've really worked hard at trying to make sure that they understand the specific shopper for that specific store instead of just loading up Cincinnati with the exact same, all of their stores locally with the exact same merchandise.
They started this before the recession, but
Right.
then it hit. So when do they expect to see any of the results of this restructuring?
Well, it's going to be a while. They're hoping that this year that their finances will firm up. They've had a rough go of it, as almost all retailers have because of this recession. You know, past recessions, shoppers kept shopping. This one has been much different. This has been a consumer-led retreat, really, and Macy's is feeling this as much as anybody. They think that this year is going to be rough. They hope to get through it, though, and they have their finances shored up. This My Macy's effort, though, could take a while for them to see the benefits of that into next year, maybe even longer, but they weren't going to abandon it. It was such a massive undertaking. This is something they just have to keep doing through this recession.
How much has Macy's sales declined in the recession?
Well, it was down to $1.4 billion from 08 to 07. I don't know what this year will look like. I can't imagine it's going to be a whole lot better, if at all. But that's a big jump from one year to the next, a big drop 1 year from the next.
Do you think we'll see more markdowns on prices to try to boost this?
Well, you don't know, but if you go to a Macy's right now, as I have recently, there's a lot of sale signs there, and I can't imagine that they're just going to get rid of all those for sale signs because there's so much merchandise that they need to move. A lot of big retailers have merchandise that they just haven't moved. They've got to get those off the shelves, clear it out for the next season. So I would expect yes, but you don't know for sure.
All right, thanks, Rob. A very important company to Cincinnati's economy. Be sure to read Lisa Fasig's story on the front page of this week's Business Courier. Here's the Courier Greater Cincinnati Stock Index. We tracked the performance of about 40 local stocks, comparing them with the broader market using the Dow Jones Wilshire 5000 Index. The market fell last week. The local index dipped about 1.4%, quite a bit better than the overall market's roughly 4.6% plunge. The poor economy is forcing companies to lay off hundreds, even thousands of workers. Patricia McGeever shows us how some of those workers can find free help with their job hunting.
The headlines tell the story. Now, the scores of people included among these numbers will be looking for new jobs. An increased number of people have asked the public library for help in how to apply for unemployment, and the number of people looking for help at the Super Job Center is up 80%, and it's expected to go higher.
The reason why I think we're going to have more requests for help in the foreseeable future is because people are collecting unemployment now, and they tend to wait until their unemployment is almost run out before they come seeking help with their job search.
The Public Library of Hamilton County and Cincinnati has teamed up with the Super Job Center to offer tips and a series of workshops. At this workshop in Green Township, those who attended learned how to look for job leads, and they learned how to write a resume that stands out.
You need to know what to put on that resume to catch their attention, to use words that really answer the job description, and how you set up the resume so that they can quickly scan your resume and pick it out.
For the next few months, workshops will be held on effective job search techniques, surviving a job loss, writing a resume, and learning how to hold your own during a job interview. Job seekers can find additional resources at the Super Job Centers.
We have a resource room where people can come in and use our computers that have internet access, and they have access also to a fax machine and a copy machine.
They can also find job leads there. And career coaches are there to work one-on-one with people who feel they might need a little extra help. The library also has computers and references job seekers can use free of charge.
The library has workshops scheduled through the end of May. And judging from the response it's been getting, it will likely schedule more for the rest of the year.